Good morning, Vande Matram. Welcome all of you. We are going to have a brief discussion right now on true freedom. So, freedom is the topic of discussion for the great morning here right now. So, this is the topic we have chosen to be mostly discussed from the mother's writings. So, what is really freedom? Always we claim to be that we are free, we are liberated, and liberation is our motto. So, being liberated will work most of the time. So, we keep concentrating upon the freedom, and out of freedom, the true service, which the real service we can afford. Then freedom and surrender. A couple of things that is coming to the picture for the discussion right now. So we have chosen this great topic for this great morning on this glorious occasion, really, that is on true freedom. So initially, mother quotes that will take freedom and the service. Outwardly, one can conceive how one can be at once in the freedom and in servitude. Freedom and servitude. But there is an attitude which reconciles the two and makes them one in the happiest state of material existence. Something is there, both can be reconciled and they can be made with the happiest state of material existence. But thing is that even though there is some bit of confusion, still then it is there. It can be reconciled and things can be performed. Freedom and the service. Mother tries to explain in a beautiful manner. Freedom is a sort of instinctive need. Great sentence. Freedom is a sort of instinctive need and a necessity for the integral development of the being. Without this is a great message from Mother. Freedom is a sort of instinctive need, a necessity for the integral development of the being. It is, in its essence, it is a perfect realization of the integral highest consciousness for which actually we are aspiring for. So, Mother quotes, essence, in its essence, it is a perfect realization of the highest consciousness. Perfect realization of the highest consciousness. It is the expression of unity and of union. Expression of unity and union. So, just imagine that the great definitions are coming, great way it has been expressed by the great Divine Mother and of union with the divine. Again, it is the in very essence the origin and the fulfillment. Just imagine, I will try to quote it again. Freedom is a sort of instinctive need. Second, a necessity for all integral development of the being, and in its essence it is number one, perfect realization of the highest consciousness. Second, expression of unity and of union with the divine. So it is in the very sense of the origin and fulfillment. It is in the very sense of origin and fulfillment. But because this unit has manifested in the many, because this unity has manifested in the many, multiplicity, so in the multiplicity, that's what your mother quotes in, it has been expressed in many, manifested in many, in the multiplicity. Something had to serve as a link between origin and the manifestation. So something has to, because it has been in our for the rule of multiplicity, it is in many. So some link must be there between origin and the manifestation. And most perfect link one can conceive of is of love. That is the proper and the perfect link. That's what Mother quotes from the origin and the manifestation. The link Mother quotes, that is definitely love. And what is the fast gesture of love? That's what Mother again asked the question. What is the fast gesture of love here? To give oneself, to serve. These are the two things needed. To give oneself. Second, to serve. What is the spontaneous? What is a spontaneous and immediate, inevitable movement? That's what second question. Spontaneous, immediate, and inevitable movement to serve in a joyous, complete, and total self-giving. That's what mother quotes beautifully, to serve. How? In a joyous, complete, and a total self-giving. That is the requirement here. So, in their purity, mother quotes again, in their purity, in their truth, there are two things: freedom and service. Freedom and service, they are actually mostly it is focused upon the two things, that is freedom and service in its purity and its truth. Far from being contradictory, are complementary. One is a freedom and the second is service. They are not contradictory, but they are complementary. It is in perfect union with the Supreme. Perfect union with the Supreme reality, supreme reality, that perfect freedom is found. So, for the perfect freedom can be found with the perfect union with the supreme reality. So, we have to take proper care of this great sentence. Perfect union with the supreme reality, only with that the perfect freedom is found. For all ignorance, all unconsciousness is a bondage. All ignorance and the second mother force unconsciousness is a bondage which makes you inefficient. So bondage must not be there, ignorance must not be there, but there must be only freedom and the service. That liberty must be there. The least ignorance in oneself is a limitation. One no longer free. One is no longer free. The least ignorance is oneself, one limitation. Even if it is the least, that is also a bondage. So, again, as long as there is an element of unconsciousness, first to another course on ignorance, then on unconsciousness, it is in the being, it is also a limitation. That's what mother course no ignorance and unconsciousness will be helpful. That is, they are limitations, a bondage. Only in perfect union with the supreme reality can perfect freedom exist. Very interesting. Nothing in between, nothing contradictory. Everything will be complementary, and nothing short of a perfect perfection is helpful. Mother quotes a beautiful quotation. Only in perfect union with the supreme reality is perfect, can perfect freedom exist. And how to realize this union is not through a spontaneously self-giving, the gift of God. That is what, and how to realize this union, if not the spontaneous self-giving and the gift of love. So another two things are there: the gift of love, spontaneous self-giving. You have to give, and spontaneously, without reservation, without condition. Spontaneously you have to give that gift of love. The self-giving must be there. And as I said, the first gesture, the first expression is the love in service, not out of compulsion, love in service. That is the first expression is where it is required, the most enabling condition. So mother again goes forward. It is indeed love that leads to unity, and it is unity which is the true expression of the freedom. Another great sentence, another great saying, another big explanation here by from the mother. It is indeed love which leads to unity. It is indeed love that which leads to unity, and it is unity which is the true expression of freedom. So, love, unity, and the freedom correlated step by step. It is taking up towards our goal. And who is the name of the name? So those who, in the name of their right to freedom, claim independence. Freedom, after mother quotes, and right of freedom, claim independence. Turn their backs completely on the true freedom, so they deny love. That is another contradictory things. But thing is that I'll try to explain. It is indeed love which leads to unity, and it is unity which is the true expression of freedom. And so, those who, in the name of their right to freedom, very interesting, right to freedom, mother quotes that beautiful, great phrase, right to freedom, claim independence, turn their back completely on the true freedom, for they deny love. On the, it is a opposite and a contradictory thing. So, mother goes one step forward while describing the freedom, true freedom. And mother quotes surrender is necessary, freedom and the surrender. So mother quotes again in her sayings, this is what's remarkable. For when one is perfectly surrendered to the divine, very initial condition, perfectly surrendered to the divine, one is perfectly free. When when someone is perfectly surrendered to the divine, he is perfectly free. This is the absolute condition for freedom. Absolute condition for freedom, that is to surrender. To belong to the divine alone, you are free from the whole world because the whole being only belongs to Him. Give completely without reservation, without condition, so that all in you shall belong to the divine. Nothing be left to the ego or given to any other power. That's what Sri Aurobindo has quoted initially in the Mother you have seen. So, and this surrender is the supreme liberation. If this great surrender, perfect surrender is there, that is the supreme liberation. You are also free from your little personal ego. Already we have quoted. You are free from your little personal ego, and all things has to be more difficult and the happiest too. The only thing that can give you a constant peace and uninterrupted joy and the feeling of infinity freedom. This is the great thing. If you are surrendered completely, your symptoms will be there. You will find, you will expect these things to happen like happiest, and second, constant peace. Third, uninterrupted joy. And then later you can find infinity freedom from all affects. You can find these are the great things. That will be felt in your appearance, in your being. You will feel that joy, that spontaneity, everything will be present there. Again, mother quotes, dwarfs diminishes and impoverishes you, that afflicts which from there, dwarfs the which dwarfs diminishes and impoverishes you. You will, from all these obstacles, you will get the true freedom. And from all the that create the least anxiety in you, from that also, and from the fear also. So if that true surrender is there, you are surrendering, perfect surrender is there, you can find the symptoms like infinity freedom uh, from things actually which afflicts you, dwarfs, diminishes or impoverishes you, creates anxiety in you, creates a fear in you. You will feel that the freedom and the liberty from all those little constraints. So you are no longer. I will tell you little, not a little like the things it is coming. Actually, in a big way, it affects. The thing is that they have got their contribution in a contradictory manner. They contradict. They actually diminish. They actually dwarfs you. Dwarf you. So you are the supreme mastery of your destiny because it is the divine who wills in you. It is not that you means you are limiting character with all your limitations. You don't belong to that being. Now the divine, you belong to the divine. What the divine wills, that must be manifested and that will be done. And because she wills in you and guides everything, so you are the supreme master of your divine, mastery of your divine, because the supreme is the true guide and carrier of your destiny. But this does not happen overnight. Not a very overnight. It will never happen. Steady. Firstly, you have to aspire. You have to do. You have to reject the negations. You have to go on. It is a continuous process, and it is a progressive one. A little time and a great deal of ardor of the will, not fearing to make any effort and not losing heart over does not succeed. Most of the time you will find some failure is there, some restlessness is there. You will find that as if you are not succeeding in your attempts. Still then does not worry, because you have given, you have surrendered to the divine, and the divine is taking care of you. So his will and guidance, it will carry you through all difficulties to your or through all ordeals towards the great goal. So, knowing that victory is certain and one must last until it comes, you have to persistently go. Even if you fail, even if you feel that progress is very much diminutive, it is very slow, till then you have to persistently march on, and finally the success will come. That is the thing to be understood, and that is the thing to be done. Now, I will try to quote a couple of lines from Sri Aurobindo really on this really true freedom. This freedom will try only few lines. Mother Sri Aurobindo quotes, only in God and by the supremacy of the Spirit can we enjoy the perfect freedom. Not any constitution, any law, any rule. It is providing the true freedom. True freedom only can be perfect freedom, can be only enjoyed only in God and by the supremacy of the Spirit. And almost as Mother Sri Aurobindo has quoted, all freedom must have a truth in it. All freedom must have a truth in it and an order, either a rational or an instinctive and intuitive order. So, freedom must have a truth in it and an order. So, either this is material or instinctive or intuitive order. And you can't realize freedom and unity unless you realize the God. For to realize the true freedom and unity, you have to realize the God. You can't possess freedom and unity unless you possess God. To possess freedom and unity, you have to possess God. To realize the freedom and unity, you have to realize God. Then steer in the quotes, possess at once your highest self and self of all the creatures. That is the requirement, that is the condition. And finally, Sri Aurobindo quotes, freedom comes by a unity without limits. No limitation is there. Freedom comes by unity without limits. For that, our real being, freedom is necessary to life as law and agile. Great thing, great topic. Anyway, I think it will be helpful in spiritual endeavor. Thank you. Vandana.